shadow won't swap, but you only live once, rock forever. I've been trying to make it out for a couple years, dropped out, who's back in? So the hood okay, you can try to fit my shoe, and you can keep it there, don't wanna live this life. I shed so many tears, so I'm back on my BS. Next step, hear what I did in the past. No backtrack, I'ma hold it down, I'm good. Take a deep breath, I've been on my grind so long, I ain't sleep yet.
Brother Raheem and people who do the work like Brother Raheem is the best fit to talk to my son. I've had people try to talk to my son in the past, and it's been really difficult because, you know, police officers to our generation is sometimes the enemy, and other sources in my neighborhood is there, but to my son they're very far because he's not used to the kind of support that these people are offering. So from my experience, I feel like the people that I'm seeking to give messages to my son and other youth in the community may be the best person. So today I brought my son and Brother Raheem on.
Hello, my name is Brother Raheem. They call me Brother Raheem in the community. My full name is Shuaib Abdul Rahim. I am a credible messenger. I'm born and raised here in Brooklyn, New York. I've spent most of my life, unfortunately, because you've been at about everywhere.
Thank you, Brother Raheem. I appreciate it.
My name is Anthony Henry. I'm from Brownsville Houses. I'm here to support my mother. I'm in the 12th grade right now. Some of the problems I went through was traveling, trying to go to school. I missed out almost 2 years of school, just ducking from people I had problems with. I feel like that's a big problem now. I don't know if it could be stopped. I don't know.
So in this interim, we want to explore Anthony claimed that a big issue for our youth today is them getting to and from school, and that was one of my issues as a parent. So I remember dealing with that, him not being able to go to school at one point. And I'm like, go to school every day, trying to force him to go to school. And it was, to my understanding, I can't go this way, or I can't go to the train station on a certain block. And I'm like, boy, you 13 years old. Many years ago, but 13 years old, and then 14 years old, and 15 years old, and you're looking at it like what's happening with my son. And at times I didn't understand it, and I would go to the school to visit to make sure that Anthony was okay. And, but I noticed that he started getting new friends, and these friends was more closer to the area that we lived in. And, I wanted to understand it because I had this loving child. I had this awesome loving child that wanted to go to school every day, that wanted to learn, that was into music and loved to dance and, was communicating with me. And then all of a sudden, those very important, lovely things had begun to fade away. And, as a mom, as a parent, I was like feeling lost, like what's going on? Who do I'm asking the guidance counselor, is everything going okay? I'm wondering what's going on at school. He's getting into more fights, and, I'm thinking that, okay, if you just go straight to school, you won't get in these problems. If you just walk by yourself, you won't get in these problems. But it became more like systemically in my neighborhood. It was more than too many children was going through the same problems. Any of the youth that you work with, do they have this experience?
Well, to answer your question, yes, that is something that the young people in the community, in Brownsville community, have to deal with every day. Their resilience and their strength, those who have managed to navigate through it every day and continue to go to school and continue to move forward with their lives, is something that needs to be noted, because in the community there are those who are also faced with the same dangers that you're facing, Anthony, but they managed to navigate it. They managed to get through it. These are the ones that you probably need to identify in your community. The ones who are.
But how did he get through it, right? How did he get through it? Because he said for 2 years, right, that this is an experience for you.
Right.
For 2 years, how hard is it? You know, like Brother Raheem said, navigate it, right? There's kids that are doing it, and he should identify these children. But how hard is that from you? You know, because Brother, it's easier to say than do. How hard is that really for someone who is going through the same issue that you just mentioned?
How hard is it for somebody else?
Yeah, like how hard is it? Because like my Brother Raheem said, well, you can navigate that. You should be able to navigate that.
I'm not saying it like that.
What
I'm trying to say is that there are those who do navigate it every day. All of them don't.
Right.
I'm just pointing out that while he feels frustrated and you feel challenged by the situation, don't feel disheartened, because there are the others who have gone through the same thing that you've gone through, and they have managed to navigate it. Now we need to look and examine how they are were able to do that, and maybe you can find some cues in them about how you can navigate. That's the only thing I'm saying. Every day.
A youth going through something like that, how does it look? Can you give us a scenario? Explain how that looks.
Waking up 8 o'clock in the morning just to get beat up on the train, go to school, bloody lip, black eyes. Like, you could try to avoid it, you could try to dead the beef, but sometimes you're just too deep in. Like, the people that did dead the beef with other people, they wasn't really deep into it. Like, something had to happen. I don't know what it was, but it's some people that's too deep in that can't get out of it. So.
But when you say too deep in, like, are we talking about children, or are we talking about like?
Talk about teens and adults, like teens and adults.
And then what has been your but people are still going to school. Parents are still sending their children out to school, and they still sending them out to go. So a teen trying to get to school, what options do they have?
Not going to school. Not going to school, or just taking a beating, I guess.
This is where credible messengers come from who live in the community. They're able to identify the source of the beef and be able to serve as interrupters in terms of going to the proper people within that particular clique or community, and be able to talk to the right persons and bring these parties together. The thing is, people lack the courage to be able to go and do it. Credible messengers, this is what we do. We go into the community, we identify who is the actors, and we try to talk to them individually. In most instances, we have credible messengers who are very close to these very same people, the ones in question, who can resolve the conflict without any further violence.
What has been the most resourceful and the most supportive thing that has happened while you've gone through this deficit?
Just talking to my mother, that's it. Nothing else really support me, honestly. That's it.
Who do you? All right. So now, our credible messengers, the credible messengers that I deal with are, like I said, Brother Raheem is a formerly incarcerated individual. He made that very clear of the work that he does. Do you think that with the words that you heard from Brother Raheem and just his small introduction, that someone from his kind of background would be more culturally competent in supporting you, and the behaviors or the avenues of where you struggle in your community? Would you feel more comfortable? Do you think a youth would feel more comfortable talking to someone who has that kind of background compared to, you know?
I feel like the youth gonna listen to what they want to listen to, because it's older people that live in their projects that's been in jail for 25 years, 30 years, telling them stories, and they still doing the same thing. Nothing ain't changed yet, so I don't know. People got their own minds, so you gotta do what you gotta do. That's how I feel. Obligati, yeah. Just believe that you got it, never worry about the tag. Just believe that you got it, yeah, these niggas gon' brag. Just believe that you got it,
me get up off my ass. Told my mama that I got it. Told my mama that I got it. Just believe that you got it. Never worry about the tag. Just believe that you got it. Yeah, these niggas gon' brag. Just believe that you got it. Made me get up off my ass. Told my mama that I got it. Told my mama that I got it. Wait, I ain't got shit. In my mind, I'm gonna get rich. Sign me, cause they feelin' my tricks. Wait, damn. I think she taking a flick. So you know what I did. Fame won't feel like the man, cause I ain't really have shit. Mama was my pops, I was a bastard. Fake friends, they turn into ashes. Life was a movie, this shit ain't no acting. Blessed tatted, ain't fucking no pastors. OGs communicate better. Told me these niggas, they change like the weather. Bitches is trees, you could do better. Dropped out, fuck school, I believe that I had it, but I went right back in. Now I'm aiming for a scholar, cause these bitches don't want no nigga that's begging for a dollar. Check my bank account, bitch. Look at my deposit, running it up. Now we ballin' like the rock. She feelin' my scarf, yeah. Little bitch, it was dollars. Now she all up in my wallet. I believe that I got it. I believe that I got it. I believe that I got it. Just believe that you got it. Never worry about the tag. Just believe that you got it. Yeah, these niggas gon' brag. Just believe that you got it. Made me get up off my ass. Told my mama that I got it. Told my mama that I got it. Just believe that you got it. Never worry about the tag. Just believe that you got it. Yeah, these niggas gon' brag. Just believe that you got it. Made me get up off my ass. Told my mama that I got it. Told my mama that I got it. Sippin' on lean, we finna turn up. Just give me a cup. Don't run out of luck. I know how you feel when you first being up. Gotta catch you a stain, go broke, get the money, go crave. Fuck cause we was selling cocaine, I feel like El Chapo. Niggas be flying, but I got the chop though. Funny vibes, gotta watch those. Circle small like a small hole. Niggas, they say they hot. They believe that they hot.
Thank you and welcome back to the Tyisha Show. To catch you up, we were just talking about credible messengers supporting youth that are thriving and are trying to get their life on track, but still struggle with some of the deficits of life. I brought my son on the show today to be an example. He has negative struggles in life, but he's a very positive young man. I love him and I want to support him the best way I can. I understand that us as parents in the community don't always have the best resources based on different social constructs that keep us down. Community, if you are going through some of the same things that you see on my show, to reach out so that we can put these things on a broader span to support our youth, especially our, the ones that's going through violence. We losing too many children to violence, and our children sometimes don't have the resource or the right people to talk to. So I just brought in Bill Blunt. Bill Blunt is a credible messenger, also from the School Institute from Transformative Mentoring, and he's here to shed some light on his own experiences to support me and Anthony.
Good evening. As Tyisha said, my name is Bill Blunt, and I'm also an credible messenger. I grew up in Brownsville, which is a section in Brooklyn, and I hung around the wrong individuals, and ended up, getting myself caught up in a situation where, someone was murdered. And because I ended up in that situation basically because I was trying to pretty much prove to other people who I was instead of proving to myself who I was. And it took me 17 years to realize that, to prove who I am.
When Anthony was saying that most of his struggles came from, traveling, when it concerns school. And I see a lot of children in our communities that go through that as well. And he was just, I know my son is thriving. He's into music. And, you know.
And he's nice too. I heard him.
You hear, yeah.
Spit some balls.
Yeah, he's into music and he's really doing well with that and encouraging himself in that, and I'm very proud of him. And I just want him to have the support. Like, Bill, seriously, it's been so tough with trying to seek out help. My son never talks to nobody. I am not going to lose out on an opportunity like this. No way, no how. My son has been through so much in the community. So as a young boy, he's like 5'3", and you know, to say that I couldn't go to school for 2 years, it hurts me, because I couldn't do anything about that, because there wasn't no a police officer in the neighborhood that my son is able to talk to tell him about the situations he's going through, or and I can imagine that there's so many youth in our community that's go through the same thing, you know. And Anthony is a tough soldier, you know. What kind of support will you offer? Like, would you say, because seriously, this is a shock to me to have him sitting here, because the avenues of support that I have gone up and down, which I'll never give up in trying to support my son, but the avenues of trying to get him to just sit down and talk to somebody is so hard. What would you say to a parent that's trying to seek a resource for her child that's going through something like Anthony has went through?
You know what I mean? The community, the society today puts us against each other. Every system, foster care system, you know what I'm saying, incarceration, all of that is one of the same. It's all designed to separate us, to break our families down. You know what I mean? So it starts with us. We're the ones who are going to defend ours. Nobody else. You say the police, let me just say this. You say that the police, right? You know, to talk to the police, can you feel? No, they don't feel safe to talk to the police. Why? Because the police, to be honest with you, they're paid to protect us, but when they get there, somebody's dead already. Somebody's in handcuffs. So basically, they're not there to stop the problem, or they're there to stop the problem, but they're not there to prevent it. You understand?
Think that's a barrier for the kids getting assistance that they need in these deficits, children that are going through some of those same things. I can't go to school. I can't travel this way. I can't go this way because I have certain issues. But I can't tell my mother. I can't tell a police officer. I can't tell a social worker, because what are some of the reasons, Anthony, that a child will feel that way? And even telling their mother?
Yeah, telling their mother, anybody.
But why, like, okay, say a child 13 years old, because you know, your life is a much more different than it was when you were like literally going through that issue. And I know we still struggle with that at home. But how hard is it for someone, a youth, to go to their parent and tell their parent that they cannot travel to go to school because and a possibility of getting shot, jumped, or hurt, as Mr. Blunt said?
Well, me, I feel like that's my business. I should take care of that. So they probably feel that way too. I don't know they really do.
Instead of telling their parents, they want to take care of themselves. And why wouldn't they result in telling a police officer?
Because they're going to get looked at as a snitch.
And then what about someone like Bill Blunt in the community? Do you think that children know that there's credible messengers like Bill Blunt in the community?
Yeah.
Or they feel confident enough to walk up to somebody like him and say, I'm in trouble? Do you think that it's gotten there yet, or it can get there? What do you think it would take for it to get there, for a child to rely on someone else in their community? Like I'm relying on, I brought in Mr. Blunt and I brought in Brother Raheem. Do you think that's a good idea for parents to kind of like utilize that for their children if they have?
Yeah, it's a good idea, but there's children that's still talking to people, getting mentored and all that other stuff, but they still going through the same stuff, and it's not changing nothing. So
you don't think that it's changing anything?
No.
You don't see violence in the last 2-3 years come down? I mean, you see just as many people getting killed now as you saw 5 years ago, 3 years ago? Well, actually, the statistic says no.
Well, in his community, it says yes.
What I see, and it's the same thing. Like
Well,
somebody die every year, somebody die every summer, same thing for the last 6 years.
but
7
see,
years.
that's the problem. That's the problem because I'm from the same community, and the statistics have gone down. You just don't know. Why? Because you're not aware. You see what I'm saying? And once you become aware, then you start knowing what it exactly is that's going on around you. Now, like I said to you earlier, you got to start caring about yourself. Because once you start caring about yourself, then you're going to be aware of everything that's going on around you.
What you mean care about yourself?
Care about, love yourself.
Nah, I love myself. I care about myself. But
You,
But what?
yeah, go ahead.
what you saying?
No, because at the end of the day, if you're indulging, right, or you're not saying anything, then you can't really care. See, my motto is this. They tell you, society tells you, see something, say something. I'm not going to tell you that, bro. I'm going to tell you see something, do something. Be the leader that you're meant to be. You know what I'm saying? Don't be a part of the problem. Be the solution. You can be that because at the end of the day, you rap. You know what I'm saying? You have a following. There's people listening. There's people watching you. Those younger than you coming up under you, and even those older than you. Like, you are inspiration to me and don't even know that. You know what I mean? You don't ever feel hopeless because once you feel hopeless, you're done. It's over. You lost. It's a war out here. It's a war out here. What side are you going to be on, the right or the wrong side? The wrong side is the gangbanging side, being on the corner doing nothing and just being a statistic. The right side is being a part of the solution, making things happen.
What would you, or would you say something different?
Being on the right side is what everybody want. But what if you on the right side trying to stop the violence? You get punched by one of your ops. Now what you gonna do? You can't just stand there and gotta do something.
At the end of the day, y'all use this word ops, right?
Yeah.
That's opposition, right? Opposition of what? What are they opposing you at? What's the whole opposition?
I just say you got beef with somebody your enemy.
Over what?
Over what?
Yeah.
It was at first it's over nothing, but when people start dying, now it's a reason.
No, it's always still nothing because people dying for nothing. Just more people dying for nothing. When does it end? It has to end though. It has to end. You don't have to be the trigger man. You could be the person to bring life back, that give life instead of take life.
That's how people die. For what I've seen, trying to change their life around.
Let me tell you something, brother. I'd rather be.
What do you mean?
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, yeah, I want to hear
Say
that.
you've been 5 years, you've been in this gangbanger, beating people up, shooting people, robbing. Then somebody put a bug in your ear. Now you want to listen, you want to change your life around. As soon as you try to change your life around, something bad happens. You get stabbed up, shot or something. Like, that's what always happens.
No, it don't always happen. It happens.
It happens, but people, I've seen a lot of that.
And to be honest with you, you're right in a sense because there's not a day that goes by when I walk through Brownsville that I don't fear for my life. You can't duck karma. You know what I mean? I was 19 years old when I caught my case and ended up getting 17 years for murder. My daughter was 19 years old, got 25 years for murder on my birthday. The energy you put out there is what you're going to get back, bro. Now, I'd rather die a warrior than a sucker. And if I'm dying for nothing, I'm a sucker. If I'm dying for a cause, if I'm dying to save your life, I'm a hero. I'll give my life for yours. This is what I'm out here doing. You know what I mean? A lot of people in my position that's from my community won't come back because of that fear of somebody else coming down and blowing their head off because of something that happened 20 years ago. I fear that. I'm not gonna sit here and lie and say, "Oh, I'm this tough guy. I don't care about." Nah, I do care about that. I got babies out there. But at the end of the day, I need them to be safe. I need brothers like you to make sure they all right.
But do you have aspirations, Anthony? You do have aspirations, I know. You know, like Bill said, you into your music, and he's an adult and he's into your stuff. You know, that you inspire him. How does that make you feel to hear an adult, even though he's an adult and he's sitting, you know, he knows you from nowhere, and express to you that he's been formerly incarcerated, he's come from a similar background, but still respects you, here to teach you, but still you inspire him. How does that make you feel?
Really feel good. I'm saying, everybody don't want to hear your music unless it got to do with violence now with this generation. So that's probably another reason why too all this going on, because of the music that's being put out. It's all about drill, kill. Got everybody doing it. So I don't know. You put out something good, saying stop the violence, one of them songs, you ain't gonna get no views. Nobody not gonna want to hear you. Nobody not gonna want to hear you.
Why you say that? Why you say that?
Why I say that? Because I don't know that.
It's a fact.
It's a fact. Yeah, I tried it. I tried
see.
it.
Well,
I got
well,
100. I got 100K on my
literally,
videos.
Well, we noticed that as adults, but we can't front, you know, violence and stuff like that will sell sometimes more than, you know,
It's all part of the system.
especially in teens and
It's
their
all,
culture.
but we all as a people need to understand that it's all part of the system to destroy us. It's all a part of the system to ridicule us, take away our integrity.
We have to be creative and making changes.
Exactly. If you are who you believe you are musically, then you're gonna create a following regardless of what you do.
That's right.
You're gonna create a following what you do. So if you
Talent is
speaking,
talent.
if you speaking facts and you getting people to listen to you about what's going on out there and it needs to stop, people gonna listen. Why? Because people are tired. They tired. They tired of being terrified in our communities.
Children losing their lives.
Children, innocent children dying for nothing because they
Parents not being able to talk to their
because they
son.
happen to be in a stroller and they can't move. There's nothing they could do, and they catch a stray bullet. People are tired of that. I know I'm tired of it. You know what I'm saying? Now, like I'm trying, like what I'm trying to basically get you to understand, it's the Credible Messages Force is a movement that can't be stopped. And this movement is for you. Why not use it? Utilize it. You got a whole lot of people behind you. You don't even know. You know what I mean? We behind you. We're gonna help you push that music because you're speaking what we're doing. You're speaking our cause, what we're about. I know. You got the juice. Cool B got the juice. That's my you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Come on, this is the reality. The reality of this whole terrible situation that we in is that we have to be tough. We have to be tough. We have to be strong. You know what I mean? We can't fall victim to what society wants us to be. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, you know, no disrespect to, you know, the how you say the LGBT Q community, you know, but they're feminizing. Society is feminizing our men today. I mean, with tight pants, fingernail polish, calling their homies boo and babe. Come on. Come on. I know you can't tell me that that's the type of music that you want to promote.
No.
It's not, because I don't hear that in your music. You know what I hear in your music? I hear you a strong dude out there surviving and trying to live to see tomorrow. But for what though? That's the thing. What you want to live for tomorrow? Give yourself purpose. Why can't you be the next Malcolm X?
That's right.
Why can't you be the next Martin Luther King? You are our future. Take control of that. empower that, embrace it.
Is there power in your music, Anthony? Do you believe that there's power in your music?
Yeah, I believe that is power in my music. That's why I do it.
Like, eventually, what is the message that you want people to know? If there was something that you wanted to leave a message about yourself with people, what would that message be through your music?
Just being yourself. Being yourself, not lying about what you're doing and all that. Just being yourself, enjoying yourself. That's it.
And what would you tell the youth, in the community that are struggling with them same things that you used to struggle with when it comes to
People who died back then, there's people that's still dying now. The same beef that's going on, the same Tilden and Brownsville beef. Like recently, people had died.
Yes.
So
I know.
I don't think people gonna get cool anytime soon, especially with this generation now. Ain't no getting cool. Ain't no getting
Let me
cool.
tell you something. The whole thing is about knowing and understanding who you are. I believe that once they get to know and understand who they are, they're gonna change. Their whole mindset is going to change. Like I said, I was in prison for 17 years, so I ran into people I done shot and killed. I done ran into people that tried to take my head off. You know what I mean? That killed people that I considered my brothers. You know what I mean? And guess what? We was in a situation where our backs was against the wall, and guess what? We got together.
So what do you do? I mean, what do one person do? What's the best practices for a youth that's going through that when you are, trying to get your life on track and you walking away, facing those challenges still. What do you do?
Let me tell you something, right? If you got on an all-white suit and in front of you is a mud field, how can you walk through that mud field without getting dirty? You can't. So guess what? Don't walk through it. You see what I'm saying? If you don't want to get dirty, don't do dirt. Separate yourself from the bullshit. Change your environment. And maybe you can't change your environment as far as where you live, but change your mental environment, the people that you're around. You know what I mean? If you ain't trying to do what I'm doing, then we don't have nothing in common. Once you change your mindset and you start looking at things differently, you know what I mean? They say that I think it was Mano that said he asked God, you know what I'm saying, to get rid of all his enemies, and he lost most of his friends. You know what I'm saying? Because he started seeing things different, so he had to get rid of those that was
Do you
close
ever
to
see
him.
things different, Anthony?
Like what?
Like, look, from your past to where you are now, do you see anything different than the lifestyle or the people that you grew up with and been close
Oh yeah, the
to?
people that I grew up with, yeah, they changed. They changed.
Now, what do you mean change? Like a negative change or a positive
Negative.
change?
I started seeing who they was as they grew up. They wasn't who they said they was. That's what got me not trusting nobody or not wanting to talk to nobody. I just like being to myself. I don't know.
And it's so true. And I still have friends that are maybe not as a great influence to me that I would like them to be, but I love myself enough to say I can't today,
See?
or I'm not gonna hang out today, or I'm not going to be involved in that, and those are decisions that we begin to make when we begin to change ourselves.
When you start caring
Yeah.
about yourself. Like I was coming back from a movie the day before yesterday, with a few of my mentees, and we had a discussion about friendship and what is friends. And it was the one that'll do this, do anything for you that you need done. I got your back. Understand the third. And I told him, I said, my father always told me that a person is lucky to have one friend in a lifetime. And at the time I didn't understand what he was talking about, but when I think about it now today, it's true. I got one friend, my best friend, which is my wife. You know what I mean? And I don't consider other people my friends no more. I consider them either comrades, associates, but not friends. You know, a friend is someone who has your best interests at heart. A friend is the one if you get punched in your face and he's with you, he's gonna try to stop this whole situation from happening, from getting worse, from escalating. But the so-called friend is the one that's gonna pop.
Oh, I like to know that. I would love to know what is a friend. What do you say a friend is? How he gave a meaning of a friend. What is your meaning of a friend, Anthony?
You know, a friend of me is somebody that want to see you win. Somebody that want to see you make it in life. Not trying to lead you in a bad way. Keeping you out of trouble. Somebody that got your back. I don't know about the pop and nose situation.
Why you say that?
Because a real friend gonna help you if it's time to fight.
That's helping you. You don't think that,
Stops
yeah, you don't think that trying to de-escalate the situation is trying to help the situation? Because if he pops, no,
Saying if you run like what?
it's never too late unless you dead. You know what I'm saying? But if it's a
Right.
punch in the face, it's not too late. Because if he pops because he punched you in the face and now y'all end up jumping him and he dies, now y'all both doing 25 years in prison. Now, is it worth it? See, a true friend is going to do what he needs or she needs to do to prevent that, not to help it happen. That's what I mean by we misinterpret what friends are. See, you said that want to see you win. Mostly all of, the so-called friends want to see you win because they know if you win, they win.
That's very true.
You know what I'm saying? And they have a better chance at getting what you got. You know what I mean? So I think for the most part, that's what the young people in our communities need to first understand what a true friend is. And the first true friend is the one you see in the mirror every morning. Because who got your back more than you? But you got to get your back, though. You have to really be your friend and not your enemy, because you could be your best friend and you could be your worst enemy as well. Like when I was out there and I was doing what I was doing in these streets, doing all this negative stuff, I thought I was the toughest dude out there. You know what I mean? I thought, I had to do what I had to do for validation from my peers, from the females. Oh, they want to get with me because I'm the tough guy, I'm fly, I got a little bit of bread. You know what I'm saying? But all that wasn't about nothing, because when I did that 17 years, who was there? Not near one of them.
Who was your supports?
My family. My family. And my number one supporter was my wife and my daughter.
Do you remember having supports while you went through the things you went through? Or did you have friends of the description that you just described as a friend? Do you remember having friends that you thought had your best interest or wanted you to win while you was going through the things that you were going through?
I don't remember none of that. No.
That's how real it is, bro.
But I don't see how that can be a reality. At his age, he's young, right?
Mhm.
So you saying like, okay, maybe 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago, like those same friends that we saying that, or even you, the same friends that we're saying is, we don't remember that, or that didn't happen. It was a fulfillment at that time in your life, to have those friends in your life. So nothing in the lifestyle or nothing in those past friendships made you feel good about yourself? Did anything?
Not me, really. No.
So why do you think that a youth continues to put themselves in a predicament in which they are accepting these kind of friendships?
Because it's easier to become part of the norm.
What do you think?
What you said?
Yeah.
No. You think so? It's just like, I have to adjust to this
Yeah.
because this is a
Life.
normal behavior. This is life. This is it. So it's like almost like no hope. You think? How would a parent be able, like, not knowing that there's a particular program, say a child doesn't want to travel to a program, how do you think a parent could identify a credible messenger in her neighborhood if she just wanted to seek help, if the credible messenger lived in her building, or maybe across the street from her or whatever, and she was going through these kind of issues? What is the best practice for a person that has these issues with their son or their daughter? um, how would you say that they can just immediately reach a credible messenger?
Just be aware of what's going on in your community. If you really care about your child and you want the best for your child and you don't want to come out here and see, like, we go to these shooting responses, right? And we out there in the community and it'll be just us out there for a minute. And then it'll be the community in the windows hearing it, but they won't come out. Why not come out? Why wait till it's your son or your daughter shot and murdered and then want to come outside?
That's right. I believe that. Yeah.
Come out now. Support your community now.
And when you come out, you'll be able to meet certain people. You'll be able to network.
And you know what's
in your
going
neighborhood.
on.
You'll know what's going on.
You'll know what's going on.
And you have a higher chance of someone stepping in if they seen your child in the community. If you go to these things, people can become familiar with your face, and it's a support. Like you said, you shouldn't wait till something happens to your child. Every child in the community should have a strength-based community that's willing to support these things from ever happening again.
Exactly. And that's our job. This is our duty. This is my life now. This is my life. I'm out here. So I struggle every day to make sure that those of us, like me, you, Tyisha, or Shaway, the whole lot of
That's
other
right.
people,
That's right.
to make sure that we get it out there, that we're
I know
here.
I'm an incredible messenger, but I'm a parent.
Exactly.
I'm a parent
Yeah.
too, and I come from the same communities that I am the parents that I serve. So therefore, me being an incredible messenger doesn't stop me from helping my son. You understand what I'm saying? It doesn't exempt me from going through the same struggles that my community goes through. You understand what I'm saying? So therefore, I have to. If there's places where I can't teach my son to be a man, but I'm teaching him everything that I've known, and even further, as I constantly heal myself as we do. With putting ourselves in these kind of programs that elucifies our judgment of not just our own character, but of the people that we serve. It kind of helps me to understand that I can do more for my child. This is not it. You understand what I'm saying? I can seek men that has come from his same background, that he can be culturally competent with, that understands his story, willing to listen, willing to shed light on his situation based on their own experience, compared to people that's in our community that he can't trust, or he doesn't know where to go, and he doesn't have that support in that sector. You understand what I'm saying? And so as a parent, me being here on the show with you today is just like, look, I'm still seeking, and he's helping me.
Yeah.
He's helping me because of his aspirations, because of his heart, because of the love. You understand what I'm saying? And like you said, it starts with that. You have to have love in it.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? When do we stop trying to save our children's lives? And I think that's what it all boils down to. Anthony continues to encourage me to help save his life by his growth. Your children don't stop growing. They could be away from you for a day to a year, but they will still come back to you. You understand what I'm saying? So this is an experience for me that I this is something that I needed. You understand what I'm saying? The fact, there's a lot of single mothers out here. You understand what I'm saying? That struggle with their children and they don't know the resources. They don't know who to go through. It's an overwhelming population of crews and gangs.
That's right.
You understand what I'm saying? And to a mother is, I want my son to finish school and be the best man he can be. But these obstacles will prevent our children from being the best that they can be. You understand? And if we're not aware of it, as you said, then it makes it very hard for us to intervene. And even in intervening, who are the best people to support this struggle? And I feel like today I did the best thing. I've never, like I said, this opportunity doesn't come around often because our children are not open to sharing these kind of struggles. It's humiliating, embarrassing. It's a lot of guilt and shame of them disappointing the people that's taking care of them. But it's also a responsibility in our community to support children that are going through these kind of violence extremes.
And I'm glad you said that because this is one of the main things that I always stress. Like, the community, you know, you heard the cliche, it takes a village to raise a child. That's what it takes to raise our children, our community.
That's
Like,
right.
you can't just stand by and let things happen. You have to do something. And I commend you, Tyisha, for what you're doing today, because at the end of the day, regardless of what outcome comes from this, Anthony is going to remember this day for the rest of his life. This is something he's going to, even today, tomorrow, next week, next month, whatever, this interview is going to resonate with him. You know what I'm saying? When he starts to see certain things, this interview is going to resonate with him. When he have conversations with friends, so-called friends, this conversation is going to resonate with him. When he sees things happening in the community, this interview is going to resonate with him. You know what I mean? I know for a fact that he's an intelligent young brother. You know what I mean? So when he's faced with certain adversities that he was faced with before today, he's going to be armed to deal with them in a better way. You know what I mean? Now, where does he take this is up to him. Where you take this, bro, it's up to you.
What are you, is there anything that, what are you proud of, Bill, in your life, and at this point in your life where your life is different and you know who your friends are and you feel safe as a person, you know, to do the work that you're doing in your community, you know, and bumping into people from your dark past, right? What makes you proud today? What the one thing that makes you the proudest to do the work that you're doing?
Cool. That's hard. That's tough because it's just so many things, man. You know, and I'm not to negate what you're saying, but, you know, I've come to learn to count my blessings so that I lose count of my misfortunes. You know what I mean? So it's hard to pretty much pinpoint one thing because it's so many things. But if I could say one thing, if I have to say one thing, I will say God. That's what makes me proud because I know who he is. You know what I mean? But however, other than that, you know, it's my family, my wife and kids, my girls, you know what I mean? My associates, my comrades, you know, you know what I mean? Just to be able to wake up and not think about prison. Then I could be going back to prison because that's a never for me. Like, it's not going to happen. You know what I mean? So just to know that I've come this far, and even like the kids that I deal with, the mentees that I deal with, to see them graduate from high school, you know what I'm saying, to get driver's licenses, to, you know what I mean, just to see the difference that I've made in their lives. You know, it makes me proud. There's just so many things, Tyisha. Like, I can't really pinpoint one.
And then, do you have anything? What makes you proud? Where you are right now in your life? Is there anything that you are proud about?
I'm proud about.
Yes.
Right now, I'm proud I'm staying to myself. Staying to myself. Man. Better things is coming now. That I live on myself. You know, big things.
How about your music?
Yeah, that too. I make music by myself. Like, really, by myself.
Well, I'm proud of you. I'm super proud of you.
I'm proud of you too, bro. But I want to be more proud of you.
Well, I finished school in June.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah. That's
That's one step.
Something to be proud of.
So you gotta understand, you about to be a man. A grown man. You know what I mean? And a grown man is a man that has grown from a boy. You have many people 40, 30 years old. They not men. Now, legally, on paper, they men. But it takes a whole lot to be a man. Accepting responsibility for who you are and those you love. That's being a man. Putting your family before everything else is being a man. You know what I mean? You got potential. I see it in you. You ain't no dropout. About to graduate. You extraordinary with the music. You know what I'm saying? You got a lot of things that's going for you, bro. Don't be a statistic. Don't end up with a bullet in the head or behind somebody's gate where it's all over. You know what I mean? I know. How old are you? 21. My daughter's 22. You know what I mean? And she was she was Young and May before Young and May was thought about. You know what I mean? And she's younger than her. But because of the decisions that she's made in her life, it's over for that right now. So now she has to find a whole nother path. But she has to find herself. You know what I mean? And one of the main reasons why I choose to pick this career in this field is because I couldn't prevent her from her fate. And it hurted me for years, about maybe a year and a half. It hurted me because I couldn't prevent her from making the same decision that I made, living the same fate I made. So you know what? When I look at y'all, I see her. I see her. And now, because of, ITM and my mentors, because Shawade was a mentor of mine when I was a young kid, and I ain't have no sense of direction.
Oh, Brother Raheem.
That's right, Brother Raheem, yes. He's one of the brothers that said, yo, listen, when I was in your shoes, what you doing? You're bugging. Sat down and talked to me. Yeah, I was like, yeah, whatever. But it started sinking in. And just because he was having those conversations with me, like I was saying earlier about you, certain things happened in my life, and I started resonating. Those conversations started resonating with me. Oh, yeah, now I started seeing things differently because of those conversations I had with him. You know what I mean? But you are our leader, our next leader. You are. Be it. Embrace it. Do what you need to do. Sit back. This is the advice that I would have for you. All right? This is just some advice, right? Really love yourself. Not the superficial type of love. No, love yourself. Really, make, a person that loves themselves, right? When they get upset, they try to switch it around, make themselves happy. That's what a person that loves themselves would do. A person that just think they love themselves. When they get upset, they stay upset and dwell on the situation. And get tight and start taking it out on other people or whatever. But a person that truly loves himself will get upset, sit back, reflect, think about the things that they're blessed with. You know what I mean? Like, say, for instance, you get upset, something happened, you don't like the way it went down. You know what I mean? You start thinking about your blessings. And then you forget about that misfortune. Your mother's still here, breathing. That's something to be happy about, something to think, make you feel good. You know what I mean? I get upset about certain things, and the first thing I think about is my baby girl. Waking up and waking me up, some daddy get up. That make me smile automatically. I start to forget about whatever I was upset about. No, real talk. You know what I'm saying? So
But I'm happy.
that's the whole.
I'm happy when you're in the house. When I can come home and I know my son is okay.
That's right. That's right. Because when he not there,
When I know
and
he's
you hear them
alright,
gunshots,
boy, I'm telling you,
you start
and
worrying.
That makes me happier.
yeah. But that's the main key though, little bro, is to sit back and realize, love yourself, and then start to figure out what it is you want to do. Like, I'm gonna tell you one thing. It's 3 things. It's 3 certified keys to get what you want in life. You know what I'm saying? If you take these 3 steps, you're gonna get whatever it is that you want, bro. You know what I'm saying? And the first one is figure out what you want. Figure it out. Write it on paper, whatever. Figure it out, what it is exactly what you want. Then part 2, the second key step, figure out how to get it. And the third one is easy, right? Go get it. Go get it. So that's all you gotta do, little bro. Just love yourself, figure out what you wanna go get, what you want out of life, and go get it. But you got, I'm gonna tell you, like I said earlier, you got people like us that got your back. We here for you. But you know what? You already, bro. But let me tell you this too, man. Be part of the solution. Step out there. Let your name be known. You know what I'm saying? Go to these different organizations. What y'all doing? What y'all about? Come with some ideas.
They didn't listen to you.
Ain't no think that we will. We will, because why? We work for you. In all reality, we work for y'all to make y'all better, so that y'all could take care of our community when we gone.
Thank you so much, Bill Blunt.
Yes, thank you.
I love you and I appreciate you. I'm really proud of you, Bill. I'm proud of you, Anthony. This really made my day. I hope that you were able to tune in and listen. Anybody who's interested in having a credible messenger speak into their lives or to their youth as they're going through maybe struggling in their community, the Gmail is going to be left at the end of this show. I appreciate you tuning in. Have a super blessed day with Sugar on top.
Quick plug. In the beginning of the year, not right now, we're gonna have a website up called a Facebook page called America's Credible Messengers, and on this page, anybody who's going through whatever you're trying to go through, whatever you're going through with the youth in the community, log on to this page. We have so many different things, that outlets, and where we could tell you resources and everything that's going on with us, what we're doing and what we're trying to accomplish. Look out for that. To 2018, we're there.
You have any last words, Anthony? To the youth or to any parents watching?
Look me up on YouTube for more banger, more music.
Thank you. Bill, you ain't no joke.
I've been trying to make it out for a couple years. Dropped out, you got that man. Sort of unaware, you can try to play my shoe.